Celestion G12M70, one of the most hated guitar speakers out there, but to me, I actually like it. Let's go back to the beginning. It all started when I was trying to figure out what the exact amp and speakers were used on Bleach, one of my favorite Nirvana albums. And I wanted to recreate that tone because it sounded so good, but it's so hard because I'm a broke teenager. I have been seeing a lot of tone hunters out there, that being Aaron Rash, JQ, and Nirvana guitars on YouTube. And they're all amazing content creators. Though I get most of my information on Nirvana gear history, specifically guitars, from Eric. As for amps, speakers, and other in-depth technical information, I watch Aaron Rash. These tone hunters are all very insightful dudes. I absolutely love their videos. Like, I've been watching Eric's content since I started playing guitar. From what I've researched, Kurt used a Randall Commander RG20 head plugged into a 2x12 cab with what appeared to be 70 watt Celestions, according to a Q&A from Jack and Dino, producer of Bleach, which lines up with the G12M70s. But this was during the Dale Demo Sessions, which was Nirvana's first ever studio session. When Kurt's Randall was getting repaired, it's commonly known he was borrowing Jack's twin reverb, which specifically it is a 68 Silverface model. There were no speakers in the twin, but Kurt did have the 2x12 cab with G12M70s, and he finished the album with that. Now let's get to how I recreated the tone. I had only 2 guitars on me, that being Skylar, my work in progress Skystang 1 replica, which the only thing I've changed tone-wise is the bridge pickup, which is a Seymour Duncan JB. I'll make more mods in the future, such as adding the 2-nomatic bridge and changing the switches, but I'm happy with what I have right now. This is Leslie, a Les Paul copy that my dad gave me. It's completely stock, nothing has been changed on it, except for the fact that both guitars have gauge 10 through 52 strings. I have a Boss DS1 though, which I know is what Kurt used on Bleach, and it's easy as beans to find it at any music store. Now on to amplification. While I know Kurt used Jack and Dino's twin reverb, I didn't have a 68 Silverface twin on me, but I did have my Fender LT50, which I've experimented with the twin clean preset, which is basically modeled after a 65 twin reverb. I used both Eric and Aaron Rash's settings, and it almost got me close, but I wasn't happy. That wasn't until I learned about impulse responses, or IRs, as per Aaron Rash. Thanks, Aaron. I then searched for a Celestion G12M70 IR, and I found it on Dr. Bonker's Sound Lab. I then bought it, and played some of About a Girl through my Fender LT50 on my Squier Mustang, and this is how it sounded. Unfortunately, after playing back my recording to the original guitar track, I was not happy. Maybe because I had a singular IR built into my amp, which kinda makes sense. No matter how many times I played around with the settings of my amp and the multiple different IRs that I had, I was frustrated. Oh my God! I was about to give up until I realized I have Amplitude 5. Custom shop because it's free and I'm a broke 17-year-old. So I opened up my DAW and inserted Amplitude 5 CS and CabLab 4, which I'll be using to load the IR. It's actually free, you can download it at any time of the day. And after a bit of tweaking, this happened. I was like, oh my God, this sounds exactly like the album. But before I go crazy over this tone, let me break down how I managed to recreate it. So I borrowed Eric's amp settings from his video on his Bleach Mustang having a vintage Univox humbucker. Eric, I hope you don't mind, but I'm gonna take... Thanks, Eric. This is the American Tube Clean 2 amp model, which is based on many Fender amps, which in this context, it'll take the place of the twin reverb. When I loaded Amplitude 5, I turned off the cab setting, just leaving the preamp itself. Then I loaded the IR into CabLab 4, which is once again free to download. This is the IR that I'm going to be using in case some people already bought this IR pack. It sounded close, but the output wasn't that good. I tried using Leslie, the GK Les Paul copy, and it sounded basically the same. Additionally, while I had the G12M70 IR, I figured it could do in Utero Tones pretty well. For the in utero sounds, I'm going to be using my SansAmp GT2. These are the settings in case y'all want to take these if you want. While I'd love to do this with Aaron Rash's In Utero IR pack, I'm still broke. But hey, it's quite fun to do the In Utero stuff with the G12M70s. Well, this tone is just super satisfying to listen to, and so fun to play into your interface to get this amazing sound from Nirvana's debut. This video was different from the content I normally make, but it was fun to do. Peace.